about is you're the what happens afterwards once you've had the surgery and you decide that you want a committed relationship. We have to understand that a lot of the times men in general see women as just sex objects,
Hmm.
and the fact that maybe they will know you were a sex change, or you tell them that you were a sex change, or that they figured it out, or you're living with them under that rule. But most men that have a relationship with trans women are generally interested in their male anatomy,
Hmm.
and not so much they want you to look like a female, but they want you to have the male anatomy.
Hmm.
And that's going to be challenging for you down the road if you decide that you want a committed relationship, or you want a boyfriend, or you just want a companion. These are things that are gonna you're gonna be facing.
Hmm.
But like I said, is I like the fact that you are reaching out, and the fact that you're telling your story. And I know I can sense that this is something that's very important to you. And it's amazing that you are true to the woman that you want to be and understand the direction that you have to go, but you also understand the challenges.
Hmm.
Living in a small town with a very small support system.
Oh yeah.
Now, this is just my suggestion. Um, it, it's different when I found that if you do entertaining, or if you just dress up, you do something that makes you feel like a woman. Surround yourself with pretty things. You do your nails, you do your makeup, you do your hair. Things you wear little dresses, or you wear little nighting things, little at a time. And then this way it will soften you in the sense of your mind will not the clothes or something will trick your mind, but it will make you feel like becoming a woman if this is the way you feel.
Hmm.
And um, I think that maybe, you know, drag could help, even if you just went and did a number and stood around and tried to perform, dressed up. These little steps to these things help you become the woman that you are. Not necessarily that you need to take drag on as a career, but it'll give you an outlet how to socialize with people done up, dressed up, and you get a wide spectrum of people. That could be an avenue for you. Or even if you just went to the club and hung out as a woman.
Yeah, well, I actually used to do drag. I first started doing it in 2002, off and
Mhm.
on up to 2010, and I haven't done it since I haven't done it since 2010, 2011, and I didn't do it all the time, like every week or every day. It was once in a while. So that's when I was living in Halifax, that is. And yeah.
The reason I'm saying this is because I'm trying to stay connected and relevant in this world that we live in of entertainment. And I've just taken to TikTok, and I'm now watching a lot of the young people express themselves.
Hmm.
And I see that that therapy seems to be helping a lot of them. And I think that that could help you.
Right. Well, I'm actually on TikTok myself. I think I added you. I'm not sure, but yeah, I've been on TikTok maybe for a month and a half now.
Play around with it. I think it could be very helpful to you. Watch and see. And I like the fact that the therapy part of TikTok is good for people that are transitioning, or people that are or gender fluid, or all of that. I think it could be it's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, but I think it's very good for young people.
Hmm.
It's very good for people that are transitioning or dressing up, or just want to be fabulous, or people that are looking for other transgender people like themselves.
Right.
So, um, with that being said, what do you want? What do you think? What do you want to happen for Rodney Beck? And what is your what name have you chosen?
For like a girl name or my drag name?
What's your girl name?
Well, I haven't decided 100% fully, but I kind of like the name Jade, Jade. I think it sounds feminine, it's different, and the meaning behind it means it's a precious gem. And
Mhm.
I don't want a typical name like Donna or Mary. I wanted something different. And someone actually brought to my attention the other day, well, why not keep your name that you have now? How did they put it? Keeping the name, I probably would never do that, but I
Mhm.
guess their basic premise behind it was, by you keeping your first name Rodney, that's really showing that you are a name does not make you a man or a woman. And by keeping Rodney, it doesn't change the fact that you're a trans person. It doesn't change the fact that you feel like a female. It doesn't change the fact of what your journey is or where it's heading. It's simply a name. But I would want to change it. Probably wouldn't want to keep, because it's not Rodney is not really a unisex name.
Mhm. Well, nobody calls me Larry. Nobody, not even my sister. Nobody calls me Larry. Everybody calls me Stephanie. It doesn't matter where I'm in the world or who I'm performing, even if I'm just as me, nobody calls me Larry. Even as they see me, they call me Stephanie. So this is something people are going to have to get used to calling you. So you're going to have to figure out a way so in your mind, it becomes an automatic response for you to respond to people. You respond naturally now because we say Rodney,
Mm-hmm.
because you're used to that. But if you're going to become the woman that you want to be, and it's Jade, you need to start putting that out there.
Yeah.
And I know you can't do that on Grinder or whatever those. I mean, you can do that on there, but maybe you won't get the kind of guys you're looking for because guys are very funny when it comes to specific genders and what they're looking for and all this stuff. But if you want to start feeling like the woman that you are, you're gonna have to start using Jade if that's what you've chosen.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
So you can start putting the two together because it can be a very difficult process sometimes trying to separate the two. When people call me Larry, it doesn't even faze me because I'm just so. It's more like it does nothing. But when they say Stephanie, that thing comes alive
Mm-hmm.
every time. So even when people are chatting, hey Stephanie, how are you? It's just like a normal way of me communicating. So this is what you're going to have to learn how to do. And the sooner you do that, the better. The sooner you make slow changes and stick with those changes, the better it is for you becoming the person that you want to be. So you have to take those steps. It's going to be very difficult because you're not going to remember half the times, and sometimes you're going to be lazy. I don't feel like
Mm-hmm.
doing this and I don't want to do that. But then you're going to have to understand the process of how to balance all those things so you always stay the same consistently so you understand that people relate to you as Jade.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So when I'm talking to you to the next time, I'll be like, you should probably have a last name because people like seeing your first name and your last name because that's what we're used to in society. It's your mother and father and your family, they always just say Rodney.
Mm-hmm.
Rodney did this, Rodney did that. But 9 times out of 10, your job or your friends will say, oh, you know that guy, Rodney Beck from the hospital. This is how. So everybody says Stephanie Stevens. Even when I'm talking to other girls, I pretty much say their whole name. I say, "Oh, how
Okay.
you doing, Miss Lady?" Whatever the name is, the first and the last. So, Rodney, it was great talking to you. I really believe that you are doing the right things with seeing a doctor or a therapist. I do believe the fact that you're stable is a good thing, no matter what. Stay that way, so that way your transition will be easier. I also say reach out to other trans women. Watch some of the stories that I've done. Watch some of the conversations that I've done. Take to heart at what some of the girls have gone through or what they're going through because the difficult times are coming.
Oh
It's
yeah.
not just the first steps you're taking. The really difficult times are coming. The more you transition, the harder it's going to become until you become the woman that you are really satisfied becoming.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now, you're you're the fact that I know sometimes family can put a strain on these things, and the fact that you're in the same town with them can make it worse. So you have to understand those are going to be some challenges down the road, but I think that you can deal with it because I like the fact that you said that your father was Catholic, but he still talks to you, come around you,
Hmm.
things like this. These things will become maybe a little bit strained when you start looking a lot different than what they're familiar with. So you're going to have some challenges there. So, but I think that you're on the right track. And
Yeah.
hopefully, what do you want for Rodney back in the next 10 years? What do you want to happen?
Oh, definitely in the next 10 years, most likely legally change my name. I definitely want the surgery and be on hormones, living my life as a female, being perceived as a female, and um, yeah, just continue having the supports in my life and doing what I need to do to make my life healthy and well.
Okay. Well, I